Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to Top Tier Arcade. My name is Steve. We're actually in my parents' garage right now, and welcome, I guess when you're watching this, to 2020. This is the year-end video of 2019 of Top Tier Arcade, and it's been an interesting year. So why don't we get right to it? Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone watching. Happy New Year and all the best in the new year. So let's get to it. Again, my name is Steve, and let's get right to it. So this year has been very interesting, and there's been a lot going on, which I'm going to go to near the end of the video. We're going to have a nice cigar, a reflection stick, have a nice drink, and talk about it. But just to get the video going, let's do this. So Mary's recording. Mary, if you can show here. So if you can do a panoramic, Mary, I'm going to be behind you. Just show everything here. A little quicker, yeah. So obviously, and I hate doing this because everything's wrapped up. But and I don't want to take all this down because I've neatly and organized how this is set up. So if you haven't seen my past videos and you're obviously saying, Steve, this is bullshit, we're looking at rags, I get it. Look at the old videos, you'll see it's the same games, but I'll give you a bit of history. So this is a neo-geo 6-slot that's covered, just to see what order I had them in. This is Killer Instinct 2. Here's my Street Fighter 3. There is, yeah, and then so that's Street Fighter 3. That is my Street Fighter 1 cabinet. And then let me come around there in a second. Come behind. Here's my Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. There, if you can come behind me so they can see. In that corner is Mortal Kombat 1, and then beside is Mortal Kombat 2. That's furniture for my buddy, and then that's my Killer Instinct 1 cabinet. So everything's housed here. At the moment. So I had to move. I'll explain later, but you know what? I'll explain. So you've seen that my buddy was nice enough to allow me to house a lot of my games at his warehouse. Now he's been expanding his business, and I kind of had to get them out of there. Plus, I lent a few games out for the movies. So my Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and Street Fighter 1 were in the Chapter 2 It this year. If you haven't had it, the arcade scene, those are my games. So we'll get more into that later on. So that's exciting. So I had to move them here because there was so much going on. So right now my parents are cool enough to say, you know what, Steve, leave them here, cover them. We won't touch them. So that's part one of where my games are, or most of my games are. So that's storage number one. We're gonna cut away in a second. We're gonna go to my parents' basement, and again, I've been moving a lot of things to the apartment, but I'll show you where the other three games are. Let's get to that now. All right, so here's part two of where my storage is. This is my parents' basement. So Mary, if you can follow me in. Now, I've moved a lot of things from the apartment. Again, a lot of changes as well. Let me just close this behind you. So here is where I'm storing the Antonio Inoki slot machine. Again, if you guys haven't seen, I've reviewed every one of my games. If you want to see them in detail, look at my archives of my games. Here is the Miss Pac-Man original dedicated cab. Again, not really much more to show, but it's, again, you can see it in full if you want to check out on my video. So that's my Miss Pac. I have, if you want to pan down here, Mary, I have a couple of neo-geo MVS carts. I have a spare Polo monitor, which needs, I think, a new flyback. Again, a lot of my my brother's stuff, after he passed, we kind of just moved everything around. God bless him there. Oh, Chris gave me this. Chris Lee, he gave me a replacement SCSI drive for my CPS3. Thanks, Chris, if you're watching. That's great. He just said, take it. And then when we go here, well, that reminds me, I have to put my cigar, Mary, if you can go there for a sec. And then here's my Double Dragon original cab as well. When my parents were in Greece I turned it on. I actually turned both on just to kind of get the capacitors up and running. I've played all of them. But this one, after 10 minutes, it resets. And the power supply is going, I can tell. Because it starts to go like this, and then it dies, and then resets. Power supply, I have to switch. It's $40. That'll be good for another like 5 to 10 years. So this is the overflow right now. My other 3 games. And then what we'll do is we're going to... I'll be by myself. I'll zap back the next day, and I'm going to look in the apartment what games we have. And then we'll sit down, have a cigar, reflect back on the year, and have a drink. And we'll go from there. Alright guys, so it's the next night. As you can see, you saw my parents' garage and also downstairs where I have the overflow. Not the greatest thing. You can see everything's in rags. It looks like shit. I'm not going to lie. So why don't we just continue? We're at my apartment. I'm home alone. I'm going to be recording it because I told my wife, hey, I need things to do. She's hanging out. And she's like, go ahead. So let's jump right into it. So this is the apartment. This is what we have so far. So this is the Vuelix L or Tulix, but again, all internal is original. So I changed the buttons to Sanwa. It's the Tato X2. Running the multi-game. The theme game is Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. All beautiful artwork, and that's awesome. Next is The Hobbit. Now, The Hobbit is, I guess, one thing we worked on the most this year. I do have a video that I've added mod there, and then I've moved the figurines. This game looks great. There's a few other mods that are out, but I don't know if I'm going to get them. So that's the Hobbit LE Smog Edition in my collection. Now, this is a bummer. So I just went to turn on this Blast City, and there's a bad error 34, bad network error. So what's happening is, it's not the dim board. I have the multi-board. Now, if you guys want to see my past videos, go to Sega Blast City Review. You'll see exactly how I have it. And I have a Raspberry Naomi Pi that runs the games. Now, the security chip is giving me an issue because I was in there. And what I've been doing is I've been actually going through what games I've left to do are like the review. This is the Vuelix. And all of these, I still have to run on the review and game. Like all these, terrible handwriting, but I have a lot of videos. I have 46 videos to do. So because I'm stupid and I turn the game on, off, around 70 games, you know, and I was banging in there. I was kind of trying to clean it up. I was just dusting it. I don't know why. And I think I loosened the security chip, and it doesn't work because I had issues with it before. I always had to keep pushing it into work, and it was on and off errors, and finally I think it just screwed up. So I have to get another one. That's a bummer. I wanted to play it actually. Friends are going to be coming over, but this is down, so that's upsetting, but should be an easy fix. So that's the 3 I have out here. Now I'm going to quickly go into my storage. This is in the bedroom, and I've actually moved a lot of things, like you can see, to my parents' house. Now right here is the Gottlieb Atlantis EM. So there's the body there, and the head is there. And I have a lot of my parts, and I just have a lot of overflow because I'll explain just a little on when we sit down and have a cigar what's happening. A lot of changes in life, and I don't know what's going to happen. So I had to do this for storage, but here's the reason. So that's Gottlieb. Again, looks like shit. It's in storage. Gottlieb Atlantis EM. Again, if you want to go through my archives, you can see all my videos. I do reviews on them. So here is the Super Sprint. So far, so good working. Again, I want to change the flyback and the monitor. It's not perfect, but it's okay. It's working. Next, I have my pinball machines. I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's all LED'd, all like nice. And then I worked on the Swords of Fury this year as well. So there's more Swords of Fury that I've worked on. And that's, I guess, one of the things I've been doing the most as far as any type of restoration. So Sword of Fury is beautiful. 99% done. A little, actually, maybe 95. A few things I want to tweak. So that's pretty much what's in the apartment. Like I said, Sword of Fury, Turtles, two pins. My third pin is In storage, my fourth pin is the Hobbit. I got Super Sprint. Now, I had the Gottlieb Atlantis here. but I had to move it. So a big change in my life now is I actually work from home. So here's my kind of temporary command station. And when my work was like, okay, well, we have to kind of see your environment that it's fitting. They're like, what the hell is all this? And then I actually covered these with towels, and I just said it was furniture, but they said there's no way. And then I had a pin here that go, look, at least make it organized. And I kind of just took the picture this way, and they said, okay, fine. But, it's kind of temporary. So again, work over everything right now. I work from home. There's a lot of convenience. My commute is literally from like bedroom and then to like 7 steps, and then I'm at work. I'm like, juju. So I'm lucky there, very, very fortunate. So that's what's in the spare bedroom. Let me go back to what's in the main room. Now, again, this Blast City is such a bummer. Now, I knew it was temperamental, and it's my fault. When Francesco sold it to me, it was good. A little, like, I had to just clean it up a little, and but it didn't really need anything. So there's how I cover my games. And so right here, remember where I'm pointing here. And let's sit and talk. So that's what's all my apartment. That's all my games. I have 18 in total from my parents' garage, my parents' storage, and then in here I have 18 games. And let's set you up. Let's talk about the future, and let's talk about 2019 and what it had to offer. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the tour of all my collection. Now, obviously, anyone watching that has been watching for years, and me included, is getting sick and tired of these stupid rags and drop cloths over my games and not being able to show my collection in its glory. It is upsetting, believe me. I don't want to be there. I know it's killing me just to show like that, but I have to show you that I have them still. But there's a reason. Now, when we get into it, again, anytime I either pick a good game and do memories or my year end, I'm going to have a nice cigar. I'm going to actually celebrate, even though it's been a very bad year, which I'll get into. It's the Vegas 5 Gold Anniversary Edition, Gold Anniversary. It's a beautiful cigar. I'll put the description below. And where I got it from. I actually got these from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Shout out to Allentown. I always have a blast going. And we went this year, and this year wasn't an exception. So let's cut the cigar. Let's celebrate. Again, I won't make the videos too long. It is part of my goal to make them a little more tight. I know I keep saying that, but I have the gift of the gab. I blabber too much. This is Cocksport. It's a Bayesian rum, VSOR. I got this when I was in Barbados in 2009 when I won a trip to work. It's matured now for an extra 10 years, so it's outstandingly smooth. It's a beautiful brandy rum, and it's outstanding. So, let me actually put this under here. Well, let's light her up. And let's get to it. So, 2019. I'm going to toast a foot, take a little longer. 2019 was an interesting year, a very interesting year, a year of change, a year of self-reflection, and a year of pain. Now, what I mean by that? Beautiful. So what do I mean by that? Oh yeah, I already know it's going to be a good smoke. Let me explain. Cheers everyone to 2019. I really hope you and your families have had a great year. I've endured a lot of pain this year, even more so than last year when my brother died, believe it or not. It's not over yet either. I don't want to get into it, but I'll explain, somewhat. Cheers to everyone. All the best to well wishes, wealth, and health to all your family. Thank you for staying with me, subscribing, and supporting as much as you can. Just watching is good enough. I'm not monetized, so you don't have to pay me. Just to support and share the hobby right now is good enough for me. So, Let's reflect. 2019 was a big year. If you look at my video last year, it was the unknown. And a lot of it really was the unknown of what's going to happen with my family now that my brother passed away, my older brother. Again, if you look at my video, special presentation, you'll see what happened. It was good and bad. So a lot of the bad was a lot of hardships with our families. After a year, in about a year after, in February this year, my brother's 1 year anniversary really hit me. It was a delayed, almost depression. I've been talking to professional help because they said something's wrong with you. You're not the same through work. They're like, look, we pay for it, go ahead. Just to get a different opinion. And they said, yeah, there was delayed response. You were responsible for everything. You didn't have time to grieve, and it all came together. I got in trouble at work for the first time in my 14 years. Almost got fired. I mean, for the people that know me personally, it's kind of a funny story, which I tell at parties and when I hang out, but it was actually scary because I almost lost my job. So far, it's okay, but it was scary. And then a lot of personal issues with myself and a few relationships that I've kept close has been a big downer on me. I know that usually I kind of keep a smiley face, and this is really the only thing that gets me going and keeps me alive. In a sense, it brings me to life. It gives me life, it gives me value, and it gives me purpose. Family and friends have been really good. Life has its ups and downs. It's been a very, very rough 2 years since the passing of my brother, almost losing my best friend based on some miscommunication, and then just issues overall with family, and it's mounting. And you have this collection of arcades and cigars, which is both not always welcome because cigars are deemed bad for you. And the hobby, is very unique, very big, games the size of fridges and terribly expensive now. And it consumes you, but it is the two things I love. What else do I have here? Now, I'm working through a lot of the issues. It's not easy. It's hard to talk about, but more importantly, it's hard to resolve because there's more parties involved than just me. People change. My biggest takeaway of 2019 is no matter what happens in life, something will change people, and people do change, or at least they stay the same, but they realize who they are, and it's hard for them to adapt. I've been humbled. I've cried a lot, admittingly, and I've been through some dark places this year. Worse than last year, which is inconceivable. 2020 might be even worse, believe it or not, which would be an absolute disaster. I hope not. I really hope not. I don't know what's gonna happen. The big thing about this the arcade and all this has been getting a home, and it's doable. And my wife and I have enough money. But there's more things involved that I have to work through. I can't really explain the full details, but believe me, it's tough. That was the big jump off, to get a home, to kind of build the arcade and to balance life in the arcade and cigars and everything else, friends and family. It's hard. To focus on some good news. Like I said before, in my 5 years, my 5-year video, my 5 years on YouTube, that passed just in here in August. Cool news, my video games, my Street Fighter 1 made a revisit into the It Chapter 2 this year in 2019. It was filmed in 2018. Actually, I was on set on my birthday, July 31st. I was on set filming. I was the arcade technician on site for 8 days, which was amazing. I got to meet all the actors: Bill Hader, Jessica Chastain, James McAvoy, and others. I met a lot of producers. I met the director, Andreas Machete, or Andy. I met his sister, Barbara, the producer. It was just fun. I had a great experience. I learned a lot about Hollywood. It was a learning experience. It was very nerve-wracking, and it was very exciting because they needed me to fix a few things, and I'm obviously not that good. As people that know me think I'm a hack, and they're right. I got very lucky. I fixed it. I helped them out. The shoot went smooth. I did very well financially with it. My Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and Street Fighter 1 were in the movie. So that was exciting. So I have a little bit of history. 0.1, I've contributed to the movie, which is, the biggest horror movie of all time. I'm waiting for the supercut where they have both movies in one. It's going to be like 6 hours and a lot of behind the scenes I might be in. I've been told, so I'm very excited, a little giddy and childish, but whatever. So that was exciting. I did some advisory work for other shows that I can't really say. I've contributed some other things that I'm not really privy to say as well, but it's been fun. I'm telling you, when it comes to the hobby, my big, disappointment was I never bought a new game this year. So since October of last year, when I bought Swords of Fury, was that my last one? Or was it Atlantis? Whatever. I think it's Swords of Fury. I haven't bought a new game. And, I promised my wife that this year was going to be the grind year where we save. I made some good, decent money off the arcades and other things. So the hobby's been paying off, both financially and also just through recognition. So that's been very cool. I'm very proud about that. So that's very good news. Now let's get to the future. So again, this year's been very tough. I haven't bought a game, which kind of lifts my spirits. I didn't do that. There's other things going on I can't really say, but it's been very difficult. I can't wait for this year to end. I'm sick of it. 2019 was garbage. 2018 was shit. It's bad. It's been bad. 2020 is either going to be an amazing new chapter of my life and our lives, or it's going to be a nightmare. So, I almost want to look back in a year from now when I'm doing the 2020 end review and see, oh my God, look where you were, Steve. You're down and out, and look how good everything became. Or Steve, you're down and out, and look how worse things are. I can't even fathom. I don't even want to think that way. I don't want to think negatively, but it is worrisome. I don't sleep well at night. I don't know. I know one thing, 90%, that I will be getting a game probably in the next 2 months. So by the end of February, I'll have a new game. That's the plan. I'm going to put it right there. You know how right before I cut to me sitting down, and it was where all my blankets and pillows are to cover the games? I'm going to probably put it there. It's not a big game. I do have it in mind. It's not guaranteed. If you look in this video, I can't tell you what part, there's an Easter egg of what game I'm going to be probably getting next, 90%. If you guys can see the Easter egg somewhere in here, post in the comments below. I'm curious if you figure it out. So I left an Easter egg somewhere in here to see if you can see what game I have in mind. It's not guaranteed, but it's damn near almost 90%. I've already have the money for it, but I just have to move some things around. It's going to go right there. I actually wanted to put it in the spare room where my work is now. But again, my job, they're like, what the hell is this, man? You're going to be destructive at work. You can't have these arcades. They think I play them like always. I'm like, no, I don't. But you can't convince a corporate. I work for a very big company. You can't deal with them. So I have to just comply for now. And I'm going to probably put it right there. I have just temporary chairs. I had a leak. I don't know if I told you guys, I had a leak, and it's, that's part of the issue that I'm dealing with. I had a leak I had to get rid of my 2 nice couches, my bed, I have a temporary one. It was bad. I'm lucky that my games were covered because it went on the blanket. So as people laugh, I still, there was a reason. So I got lucky. So hopefully in the next 60 days, I'm going to have a new game. That's exciting. I shouldn't have to work on it, which is more exciting because I'm sick of it. I'd rather buy something nice and have to fix it later instead of the other way around. I actually don't like working on them as much as I like to tinker, but I don't. I actually enjoy playing them. A lot of people, me and Francesco had this conversation once at one of the pinball on Top Tier on Tour, whereas he actually likes to find and restoring them. He goes, but it's gaming is last. I'm the reverse. I don't like. I hate picking them up because I always think something's going to go wrong and what van am I going to use, and is my dad going to yell at me because I use his van, and my wife, and then I have other. Anyways. This Blast City has me a little annoyed starting in 2019, I have to admit. It should be an easy fix. There's the region BIOS, which the net didn't. Because I bumped it. I think I just have to replace it. It's like $5-10, but hopefully it's that. I didn't want to think about it. It should be something easy, I hope. I'm going to maybe ask Francesco, who I bought it from, or Chris Lee, and I've done his arcade before. But a lot of people are busy in the holidays, hopefully. So my main focus this year is, let's look at some positives. In 60 days, 90% I'm going to have a new game. I'm going to put it right there, probably. I'm going to be smoking as much as I can. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. But it does take my mind off a lot of the hardships. I'm not a heavy drinker, so you don't have to worry, or drugs, so I'm not going to get into that, I hope. More future is, so I'm going to be doing more Top Tier on Tour, that's for sure. I already have a video in the next few days coming up, which I'm super excited for. So that, and look for that. Another big thing I'm going to be doing, I'm jumping the gun a little. I was going to wait till I move, but enough's enough. Top Tier is going 4K 60 frames a second. So I have a new camera. I'm going to be filming 4K 60 frames a second. I'm going to go great quality. I still want to get a wireless mic and better lighting, but not yet. So next big thing is 4K 60 frames a second. We're going at least good quality. More Top Tier and Tour. I'm going to be doing more game reviews. This pissed me off because I had 4 game reviews in mind that I did research for, written down, wherever my book is, and I have to pause it. So you're going to be seeing more of the Vuelix to kind of finish that off. And to do all those games. I have King of Fighters coming up. Things like that. I'm going to be hopefully picking up, like I said, a game as well. And hopefully by mid next year, maybe I will move. And that's been the big question mark this whole time since I've started collecting and beyond. When's Top Tier going to move? I'm sick of this. I really am. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm just exhausted. I'm mentally drained, which is adding to part of my, I would say, a little depression. It is, clinically. But I'm not that bad because I have a lot of friends and support, which I'm so grateful for. One thing I'm grateful for in 2019 is the friendships I've built, both arcade related and my non-arcade buddies that I've known for years. My family and friends have been very supportive as well, my family, which is great. So I'm very, very grateful. Knock on wood, went to the doctor. He wants me to lose actually 30 pounds. I'm 180, but I'm short, so I'm 5'6". He wants me to be a 150, 155 lean. I can do it. I've done it when I used to wrestle. So I have to, my next goal is lose weight, try to be more happier and look at the silver lining in life. Try my best to keep occupied with the games, a smoke here and there. I only do around once a week, not too much, maybe once every 2 weeks. Even my doctor said it's actually not considered, even my insurance said if you smoke 2 cigars a month, it's not considered smoking and your premiums don't go up. So this is my insurance that wants me dead and doesn't want to pay telling me. My doctor's like, it's not a big deal, just I can't encourage it because I'm a doctor, but he goes, there's worse things you can be doing, so if that makes you, hey, he told me this, if that what makes you happy, no problem. And that's it. I don't want to drag it on. 2019 has been a drag, 2018 has been a nightmare. I don't want to keep repeating it, but just thinking about what I've been through, and it sucks. It sucks. I hope you guys have had a better year than I have. Please, comment below, maybe help me, cheer me up. And I don't know what else to say other than that. Look, I have a lot coming. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. I have more coming. hopefully a little more exciting. Hopefully I finally get that house and then really build top tier the way it should be in a beautiful big room or basement. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of rambling. Guys, look, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Please like the video just to maybe give me a little encouragement. If not, I understand. I mean, looking at, rags and whatever is annoying. Obviously, you can't see my collection. But again, everything's archived if you do want to check. I'm not monetized. I'm not here to make money. And unless something changes drastically, which I don't think so, I'm very low on the YouTube subscribership, which is okay for now. And it has been a pleasure. Thanks again for checking out Top Tier. Thanks for spending with me, and those who've been a loyal follower. Thank you for at least watching and supporting me. It really helps. Even saying good work really makes things better. I wish I could talk to myself a year ago and said, Steve, here's what to look for, because it's going to be life altering, and it's been very difficult. And hopefully 2020 is better. I am positively trying my best to keep an open mind. I really hope it doesn't go bad, because it's right now 50-50. Either it's going to be the best year of my life or the worst. And there's literally black and white, like it's down the middle. I'm kind of teetering. But all I can do is be positive, optimistic, and do what I do best, and try my best to entertain you guys as much as I can and have a little fun in life. But thanks again for checking out Top Tier. All the best to you and your family in 2020. And we'll go from there. Take care. All the best, and thank you again.